Keep the janitor's kid off this table. The words slipped from Anchor K. Whitman's mic before anyone realized it was live. A ripple of gasps ran through the studio, the insult echoing into millions of homes. At the desk, Omar Almanzar adjusted his red-white gutra, smiling faintly, unaware the show had just shifted. Beside the cameras stood 12-year-old Leo Carter, his mother's cleaning badge dangling at her chest. He gripped his guest pass until the edge bent, eyes locked on the contract displayed under the lights. Kay smoothed her voice, trying to move on. We'll begin with the translation. But silence held and Leo's words dropped like a stone. That word is wrong. The studio froze. Audience members leaned forward, phones half raised, sensing something unscripted. Kay's smile tightened. "Excuse me," she said, each syllable sharpened like a blade. She angled toward Leo, waiting for him to shrink. Instead, the boy stood straighter. "You signed in," he answered calmly. "That means optional. The contract is about obligation. The correct word is ILM." His voice carried steady, cutting through the studio hum. The hired interpreter flushed, tugging at his earpiece. "Ignore him. He's a child," he muttered, trying to reclaim authority. But Omar's pen stilled above the paper. His dark brows drew together. He had spent decades in boardrooms, hearing broken Arabic tossed around like tokens. This was not that. This was flawless. Leo's mother whispered, "Please, Leo, don't." Her eyes dropped, shoulders curling as if bracing for the dismissal she had endured her whole life. Kay leaned closer to her mic, her tone dripping with polite cruelty. "Sweetheart, this is a billion-dollar deal. Leave the languages to the adults." Leo didn't blink. "$1 billion, he said, voice clear, "is exactly what you'll lose if you sign it wrong." The crowd erupted in a low murmur, the injustice thick in the air, impossible to ignore. Kay's laugh was sharp, meant to slice the tension. "So now we take legal advice from a child in a hoodie." The audience tensed. Omar raised his hand, silencing even the control room. "Repeat what you said," he demanded, switching into Arabic. Leo's response was crisp, the cadence exact. "Alak yajab and yakanilam lan." Obligation, not suggestion. The interpreter's face drained of color. Omar's eyes widened. He murmured in Arabic, almost to himself. "Arabia took a faya. Your Arabic is pure." Kay tried to cut back in. "Mr. Almanzar, please, this is theater." But her words cracked against the silence. Leo's gaze never wavered. "I didn't come here for theater," he said evenly. "I came because truth deserves a microphone, too." The camera zoomed closer. The weight of his defiance, his small frame against a billion-dollar empire, held the audience hostage. Omar's pen lowered slowly. If what he says is true, he admitted, this contract is void. A roar of whispers surged through the studio. For the first time in his career, the Tycoon looked to a child for correction. The countdown clock in the control room screamed toward commercial break. 40 seconds, 39. Kay hissed, her mic still hot. "Cut him off. This is chaos." But Omar lifted his palm and the cameras obeyed his authority, not hers. The red on-air light glowed harder. He looked at Leo. "How do you know this?" Leo opened his notebook, pages filled with tight handwriting. Cross-references, Arabic to English, legal glossary scribbled in pencil. His hand shook as he held it up, but his voice did not. "I studied every clause in your drafts at the library. Words decide if families eat or starve." I couldn't stay quiet. The interpreter tried once more, desperate. He memorized phrases. Nothing more. Omar silenced him with a look. "No, that was law." He bent forward, gold pen scratching as he replaced the word live on camera. The hush broke into scattered whispers across the audience. A boy just saved $50 million. The timer hit 5 seconds, but no one dared cut to commercial. The on-air light stayed bright as the control room surrendered to the moment. Kay forced a brittle smile, trying to regain control. "Well, some unexpected interruption," she said, her tone sugar over glass. But Omar leaned into his microphone. "Deliberate, not interruption. Correction. And credit belongs to Leo Carter." The camera zoomed, catching Leo's face framed by his mother's badge, still pinned to her shirt. For the first time, she didn't bow her head. She lifted it, eyes shining. Omar's voice was steady. This boy saw what none of us did. He saved us millions. Live. The studio audience erupted, clapping, murmuring, filming. Hashtags already pulled online. When the break finally came, Kay snapped her notes shut in frustration. Omar turned to Leo. "Young man, how would you like to consult for me?" Leo's answer was quiet but sharp. "Make sure my mom never has to hide her badge again." Omar nodded, a rare smile crossing his face. Done. In that studio, power shifted, not with applause, not with contracts, but with a child's courage to correct one word that everyone else ignored.